Dear Lord, we are here yet again, ready to have a conversation of where you have brought us from and how you have led us. And Lord, as we avail ourselves, we pray that you would use us to bring healing, to bring clarity, to bring perspective, and to draw people closer to yourself in the best way you see how. We avail ourselves as vessels, and we pray that you would be at the center of this conversation for the glory and honor of your name.
Amen.
In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen. Sounds good.
Welcome, girl! Good to see you.
It's so good to see you.
How have you been?
Beyond good to see you. Do you know I have been learning? I've been like on a very heavy learning curve,
Yeah.
and getting to know myself a little bit more, and discovering happiness as I see it, and generally a joyful person.
Yes, you are. You are. And I quite like, you're very humorous, Sophie. I don't know if you know
Really?
that.
No.
Does anyone tell you? Do you
Not at all. A
Come
lot of people find me
on.
actually quite serious.
In which universe? Do you
They
really
look
know
up Sophie.
Sophie?
Honestly, well, the thing is, the ones who I let in,
Okay.
then really get to know
Yeah.
that kind
Yeah.
of goofy side of me and
Okay.
stuff. But yeah,
I like the duality. Like, I know Sophie, the serious journalist.
right,
And then I know you to be really, really funny.
absolutely,
Yeah, to be really funny.
yeah.
Welcome
Thank you.
to the Good Wife
Oh
podcast.
my goodness. Thanks for having me. I see you on YouTube, and I've watched a few episodes, but I just can't believe that the good wife and I are in one sentence.
You are
This is
a
great. This is
good wife. You are. And we are
Thank
going to
you.
get into your story.
Thank you. Thanks.
Welcome, guys. Welcome to the show. Happy Friday, first of all. I hope you've had a wonderful week. And thank you for starting your weekend with us. This is the Good Wife podcast. My name is Rachel, and I have my very, very extra good friend, Sophie
Thank you.
Aniku.
Yes.
Yes. She's here to talk about, well, like you've seen in our caption, healing after divorce. So, yes, this is a channel that celebrates marriage, but I also know that sometimes things happen and things don't go as we plan. And I think in every area of our lives, whether you're in the valley or on the mountaintop or somewhere in between, there's always something to learn and maybe healing for you if that's something that you currently need. So welcome aboard, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to have you, Sophie.
It's great to be here, Rachel.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful, I think it's a wonderful thing when you can work with your friends and the people that you like. But this at all doesn't feel like work.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. It
feels like you're
like,
on my couch.
yeah, I feel like I'm at home, really.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we've known each other for years.
Yes.
Yeah. Met at Power FM.
Yes.
And when I went to NTV, where did you go? You were at Vision?
Yes,
Vision
I was
Group?
at Vision Group. You know, starting off this life as like broadcasters, finding an avenue for this gift that God has given us has not been an easy journey. So you kind of fall where you fit in.
Yes.
And sometimes it feels like there's a skills mismatch.
Absolutely.
And but what I loved so much about our journey is that we never set out to be like these great broadcasters.
No.
Never.
It was like, this is exciting work to do
Right.
on radio. Let's do it.
This is it.
Yeah.
And thank God had plans, and then we went on to do like other things.
Yeah.
But for some reason, God has a plan, and
He
here we are
does.
back,
Yeah, he does.
back together, sitting on this couch.
So where are you now? What are you doing?
So I'm a communication specialist. I am still very much drawn to the broadcast life. I really do miss broadcasting.
It's attractive.
Yes, but the landscape has changed.
It has.
You know, everyone wants to be on the vitala, like yeah, you know, not knowing that it's like it's a serious science, like and you know, presenting yourself and presenting information is something that's not something that, but you know, everyone's welcome, right?
Absolutely.
Everyone's welcome. Their opinions are welcome. And if you live on the continent, please say as much as possible.
Yes.
Yes. As much as possible to the entire world.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you're a communication specialist.
Yes.
And your work is not here in Uganda.
I work all over Africa.
Okay.
I go all over Africa routinely.
Okay.
Of recent, I work with an organization that remains unnamed.
Okay. No worries. No
But
worries. We'll
I
keep
work
it
with an
unnamed.
organization here in
Yeah.
Uganda,
Okay.
and it's so great to be home. It's so great to see the strides that we have made, in terms of, like, how the country's moving, where young people want us to go.
Yes, yes.
People are quite vocal on the
Absolutely.
socials. They speak their mind. So I feel like there's a growth mindset that is exciting,
Yeah.
but also needs to be controlled.
Yes, for
But
sure.
young people are they're exciting me these days.
Yeah.
They challenge the world with
Yeah.
how we are being seen, right? So, Rachel, you ask me one question, I'll give you 3 answers.
And I love it. That's what I love the conversations I
Yeah.
have here, because even when I'm planning, by the way, I'm like, we're going to talk about a bunch of things.
Right.
Because that's what conversation is.
Yes,
Yeah. You don't
yes.
say, I'm going to meet Sophie and we're going to talk about, let's say, parenting. I'm like, yeah, but Sophie's many things. I can talk to her about parenting. I can talk to her about
Yeah,
journalism. I can
of
talk to her
course.
about
Yeah.
the weather, about fashion.
We're information people. We're information people.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I kind of like the buffet style,
Oh,
so that
thank
when
you.
somebody comes, they're like, oh, that thing they talked about. I like that. I like that. The other one, I learned
So
something
much.
new.
Yeah,
You
of
know.
course.
So Sophie, so you're here to talk about, your healing journey. First of all, I have wanted to have you on this podcast. I know we talked about this last year. And
Yeah.
it never quite seemed to happen at the time, but now feels right to talk about it. And I think a good place to start would be to kind of summarize how you find yourself divorced after a period of marriage. I attended your wedding. It was so
Yes. You were at my wedding.
I
Of course
was.
you were.
Yes, I was.
I had 150 guests.
It was fancy.
It was quite fancy. My mom knew that the guests were 150, but she went to Nasser Road and printed some other. She printed
like the
cards,
regular mom.
and she was like 150.
150.
That's just my village. What do you mean? So, like,
wow.
people showed up at the wedding that I didn't really know.
Really?
But of course, everyone was absolutely welcome, and we had such a beautiful day.
It was.
And the intention was for us to live life forever.
Aw.
Because, as you know, Rachel, me, I married as an old broad. I don't know about you, but I was not young when I got married. And there was a lot of external pressure, like your family really wants to see you settled and stable, really. And really, ultimately, what they're looking for is a sense of security for you. They want to see you secure, stable, grounded, and with some babies,
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
And at the time, I had not prioritized marriage.
Oh.
No, I had a father who was, I'm one of 6 girls, and he always said, no one's coming to save you. You have to be your own savior.
Yeah.
So make sure that your career is okay, make sure that your life is okay. And then if the other things come round, then that's great.
Yeah.
Whereas in Africa, by 21, 22, the pressure is on. So I got married in my 30s, and I met a wonderful gentleman who's still a really wonderful person. We just weren't wonderful together, I think. And by the way, the intention of this conversation is not to male bash, although I'm dying. I really want to go there, but we're presenting ourselves very well. But he is and was a very wonderful gentleman. And so when we met, we dated extensively. And then it just so happened that we were like, we want to do this forever. And so to answer your question, I went in with eyes open, heart open, but there were certain questions that I did not ask.
Fundamental questions.
Fundamental questions, but then also maybe information that was not clear to me. So it wasn't volunteered as well. And so by the time we get to this side of what we're talking about in terms of divorce, we had an extremely amicable divorce. It was not, there wasn't a push and a pull, there wasn't a fight, but you know, maybe certain things that we can get into as we have this conversation is, you know, and we're Christians, right? We're Christians, and what we're told is you cannot get divorced. You've gone to church, you were in Damirembe, like we've told the pastors, the priests, everybody,
the congregation,
yes, all our elders, and then we've called our parents, and then we've called our closest friends, and then we've spent all this money. This has gotta last, right? It's gotta last.
It has to. The stakes are high.
The stakes are high. And then it doesn't last.
It doesn't last.
So what do you do with that information? You know? And how do you recover?
I think one of the things that I have learned about life, especially when you're going through something as traumatic as divorce, is there's always something to learn. There's always growth, you know, on both parts. I think it's one of those things that causes you to stop and think about your life. And I think there are certain themes that are going to run through our conversation today, like identity, self-image, basically going back to the beginning. What would you say, or how did your understanding of identity shift during or after your divorce? And the reason I ask this is one of the things that is shaken when a divorce happens is identity. It's like, so who am I without the marriage? Who am I as no longer Mrs. So and so, or no longer married to this, you know, this woman? So talk to us about identity and your understanding of it and how it shifted.
Okay. Well, I can only give you my perspective, right? I went into marriage single. You know, regardless of all the, you know, the training that you have at home and the pre-counseling that you do before you get married, and even if you've been dating this person, I must admit, I went into a marriage that's supposed to meld two lives. I went in single and stayed single for a while. Because I was like, oh, well, nothing about my life should change, you know? And the identity was, I'm in, but I'm not all the way in.
Was that intentional?
It wasn't intentional. And these are the things that you discover as you're there. Is that, you know, you have to be able to make huge compromises, like life-altering compromises. Do I take the job that's out of the country to serve the family, or do I forfeit the job that's going to literally transform us financially? Or do I just stay with you because I love you and love is enough, and we will have lunch for breakfast, lunch and dinner, and it's enough. And we will somehow find a way, and God will provide. Right? So in my singlehood, I'm like, oh, we're taking the job.
Absolutely.
Like, we're taking the job, and you're going to have to follow me where I'm going, even though we are 4 months into this thing, which is exactly what I did.
I remember. You got married and then moved.
I got married in June. And then I moved in November to a whole other life. I mean, God was really great in that an opportunity came. And you know, for us as journalists and broadcast people, I mean, we work all our lives. How many examples have you seen of like people at UBC who start when they're 21 and they're gray-haired and almost retiring, and they've just been at UBC? All respect to UBC. I'm just saying that, you know, our growth arc as broadcast journalists is very, very short. So I was just really blessed that an opportunity came and took my career in a direction
that you hadn't thought.
I hadn't thought
about.
You
were transitioning from radio. Was it radio? No, it was TV.
It was radio to television. Then television to like international
television.
Yeah. And so I was like, okay, but God, what do I do with this man? Like, so what do I do? But this man is your husband. So what considerations do you have to take? And what is your self-image at that particular moment? What kind of counseling are you getting from the people who support you as a marriage? And what conversation are you having with your husband about who we are now?
And how that informs
who we are now, now that we've decided that we're going to be together. Thank goodness at the time he was very, oh, you go. You go get your, you know, go get what you have worked your entire life to get. And so I got on a plane and I left, and I was like, you'll come here.
that was the expectation.
I asked, but I was also just saying, Munang, you will
You'll
find me.
find me.
So what does
Wow.
that mean with having children?
Yes.
What does that mean with financial support on both sides? You're not seeing each other from day to day. What impact does a decision like that
Yep.
have on one's marriage?
Yep.
And how much are you willing to sacrifice for how long?
That's true.
You know, and you know, our industry is very all consuming.
Absolutely.
Everything about media is from the morning to the evening. You are just collecting elements and you're
Yeah.
just not readily available.
Yeah. Yeah. So that definitely must have had. I mean, you guys were young in the marriage, like you said. It was just 4 months after
We're
you
4 months
got
in.
married.
Yeah.
And I think there's a shift that happens when you transition from singlehood to married life. And like you said, for you the shift didn't quite happen because you kind of stayed single. You know, you're single now, and then you get married, and you kind of maintained the same mentality.
Yeah.
And I think for many women, there's a struggle to transition, you know, from I'm single and now I have to kind of consider my husband and the decisions that I make. So you talk about self-image at the time. Do you think that self-image influenced your choice of partner? Is there any role that it played in you choosing your partner?
Well, here's the thing. I had been in relationships up until that point, but I had not given myself to the degree that marriage requires.
Yeah.
And we hit on an interesting nerve here called, like body autonomy.
Yes.
Like even in your geographical movement, your body no longer belongs to you alone.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
And you can go deeper in there for the adults. Your body, because they say the two have now become one, right? On a layered level, right? So if I've taken myself and I still have autonomy over my body whenever I want, what does that do to the marriage?
Yeah.
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 And what are you asking of your partner to be? What are you asking them to be?
Yeah.
And that all hinges on your self-image. So you have to go and revisit and say, I said I do, but do I?
Do I really?
I said I'll be there, but am I there? I said, I said I'll be there through sickness and health.
Yes.
And all these other things that we tell our religious leaders that we're going to be. But are you? Now, that's no indictment on myself.
Yeah.
Please, I was perfect.
Like every wife.
I was perfect. I was the good wife.
You were the good wife.
I was the good wife. But I think it's because I was also trying to problem solve. Which brings me to the other, we're literally what we're peeling back and discovering is what we are fundamentally within ourselves. True. I am a problem solver. Okay. Everyone in my life will tell you that. I solve problems. So where there's no money, I'll go and get money. Where there's no, where we're trying to build, let's say a home, I'll be there and build, but who says you have to be that?
Who says?
It starts from you.
Yeah.
You don't have to be all things to all people.
Yeah.
You have to be like, what role am I choosing
to play in this scenario? Yeah.
Who do I want to be? And let me make that clear. If I have sent the message that I will be everything,
yes,
people will let you be everything.
Absolutely. I don't need to lift a finger.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll go across the world and do this thing. Then I'll be back by Tuesday in time to try and have your babies. And then after that, I'm going to be like a great, in-law.
Yeah.
You will become a wreck.
That's true.
And you will see fractures where fractures did not exist. And that's what hinged on yourself as an individual. What have you decided you're going to be, and what is your role in this marriage? And that's not an indictment on growth.
Yeah.
It's just these things have to really be talked about and examined within yourself.
Yeah, like we're doing today.
Yeah.
There's a concept that you introduced to me. I don't think I'd heard about it the way you phrased it. It's mind, mouth, mood, and attitude.
Yes.
Basically how we show up.
Yes.
In life, in relationships, in our marriage, and, that sort of thing. So talk to us about that framework and what does it mean to you in the context of relationships?
Okay. Well, I can't say that I thought about that independently. It's a book I came across by one of the big religious, figures. And mind is, what is your mind set on when you're in this marriage? Your mouth is, what are you speaking into your marriage on a regular basis?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And your mood, what do you bring? Because you are responsible for the energy that you bring into a space.
That's true.
So what is the mood that you are, you know, bringing into this unity, right? And then your attitude, even when you're hit with really, really big decisions, big problems, you know, life is really up and down. What is your attitude towards these things?
Yeah.
It's so interesting. If you're on social media, you will laugh and cry at the same time because people's, you know, perceptions of what marriage could be. When I was coming to sit here, I was like, so what do people think about various issues? And I tell you, it's a bit saddening.
Yeah.
Because I think the men are getting a bit of a bad rap, right? They're profiled to be the person who speaks really well in the marriage, who has the best attitude at all times, whose mood never shifts, you know, whose mind is set on the vision up ahead. And women are just allowed to do whatever they want to do. You know, my job is to get the bust down wig. My job is to look great at all times, to nurture these kids, but it's all on you.
Yeah.
And that is the perception that we are seeing
in marriages.
And this is the conversation that people are having based on what we see on the digital spaces. But I will tell you my experience because, you know, right now I'm being a bit vague because, you know, you don't want to name, you don't want to put people's issues
business,
out there.
Yeah, because it's not your place.
Yes.
Yeah, you can only speak for yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can only speak for yourself.
That's right.
So this concept that we're talking about, basically how you show up, your
Yes.
mind, your mood, your attitude, how would you say your mindset and emotional state influenced how you showed up in your marriage?
I was your typically naive person in a marriage because, you know, Rachel, you know, we were church kids.
Yeah.
We were church kids 24/7. Whether we did the church things is a whole other thing.
It's a whole other story. Yes.
I did them.
to that degree.
To the degree that I... Yes. But I'm just saying we were church kids. So I remember we're working at church. Then we're dating people at church. Then we're singing in the choir. So from Monday to Sunday, we were plugged in church. And I remember being so conflicted because a job opening came up at New Vision and I was still sort of like very much attached to Watoto and the church and I didn't want to leave. And I was like, is this a good move? But you can only be effective if you are thrust into the world. You are of no use as someone who claims faith to be amongst those in an echo chamber that always professes faith.
You're not growing.
You're not growing and you are of no effect. You need to go in and break mindsets, change, have a certain way you're supporting your society in the way that they think. And so when I went to New Vision, I was just like, you know what?
What is this?
This is a very different setting.
Yes,
I mean,
it is.
and it was the extreme opposite when I tell you. You know, New Vision is right next to Silk. You know, remember the club called Silk?
I remember.
Yeah. And so you would see everything and anything. Yeah. And sometimes you'd even, you know, be a part of it because of work or whatever.
Yeah.
And I've forgotten the question.
How did your mindset and emotional state inform how you showed up in your marriage?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so for me, I just was always waiting.
Okay.
Which is something that I don't recommend any longer. I was always waiting for this incredible guy to walk in. And I was like, oh, he'll find me. He'll find me. For sure, he'll find me.
Okay.
And then when I saw it was really getting late, you know, you go on these prayer mountain, prayer and fasting. Yes. They're like, oh, go to this church because they have the blessing of the husband. Girl, what didn't I do? I went to those churches.
Yeah.
I really did. And because you don't want to embarrass your parents. You love God.
True.
You want to start a new life with someone whom you feel is ordained for you.
For you.
And then maybe you pick the wrong one. Maybe the person that you picked or the person who picked you was not the person ordained for you.
For you. And that happens, you know, that happens.
And that's the thing that the church doesn't want to accept.
Admit, yes.
Yes. They're like, no, you went there, you told God, and with all due respect to the Catholic community, the Catholic community is like zero tolerance. Don't tolerate. Don't even. it is not possible. But those are the mindsets that we, and strongholds that we really have to look on head on. Because my favorite verse in the Bible that just always applies to all things is, do you remember? It's my favorite, but some of the areas are sketchy. The valley of the dry bones.
Yes.
And he says, can these bones live? Speak life to these bones. And they join together and they become a person. And my whole thing is like, I've always had that attitude where if I go into something, something has to come together. The sinews and the muscles, it must work. So what happens when you speak to the dry bones and they decay?
Together. Yes, they're decaying instead. Yeah. What do you do then?
What do you do then?
Yeah. Am I safe in saying that foundationally, whether that actually, because since you're the one in the seat, there were already cracks in terms of how you entered the marriage, how you chose or how you were chosen, because I'm trying to figure out, I guess, where the problem came. And I want to ask at this point, when you felt like, okay, I think many things are going wrong, fundamentally wrong, that we do need to start talking about divorce. So in terms of, if somebody asked you to describe maybe in 2 or 3 words, like what was wrong or what went wrong, would you say that at the foundation level, there were already issues? I mean, we've talked about identity, we've talked about self-image, we've talked about growing up and, being shielded in the church environment and how that can kind of impact how you eventually end up picking. Would you say then that foundationally there were already cracks and those cracks only widened after you were married?
Rachel, you've come for my things. You've come for my things. Whoa. Small. Foundationally. Yes. Okay. That's just it. Yes, on both sides. But I can speak for myself.
For yourself.
Like I said, I went in with a very self-centered approach that you have to do this for me because my dad did this for me. I was my dad's favorite, and therefore all eyes on me, the spotlight is on me, and what I want goes.
Got it.
Okay, so that's fracture number one. And there are many other fractures that we can identify. I'm just taking accountability
for your part,
for what my part was. And the second thing is, I didn't ask enough questions, Rachel.
Got it. Yeah, you mentioned that.
Yes, if you are going to be in partnership with someone and it's looking like it's going to be a forever partnership, and that you are saying that you have access to all compartments of my life, if that is the deal at the engagement level, not at the marriage level.
No. It has to be before.
Right?
Yeah.
You know someone is serious when they go into Luganda. Not at that.
Not at
that, but at that.
At that. Fill in the blank.
Not at the altar. Yeah, you have to be brave enough to ask the questions. If you don't have the questions, this is for anybody who tunes into the Good Wife podcast, or anyone who is at the stage of making a permanent decision. Ask the questions.
Yeah.
How do you make money? What is your source of income?
Okay.
How regular is your income? People hide.
Oh, yeah. Especially in the dating phase.
Yeah. But imagine us who had come from church where we were told, you share or you give over.
Yes.
We were of the shared and give over club. Do you remember?
I remember.
Where we shared and gave over? Hey,
yes.
Do you think everyone operates like that, Rachel? They do not. They don't.
Yeah. Value.
That's what. Do you go to church on Sundays, or are you a bedside Baptist? You just like to kick back on a Sunday. You just want to listen to your gospel music. You don't want to physically move from your home and be some kind of model to your children that you have to go to a physical church place. These things fracture marriages.
They do.
How much information do you give your in-laws? Are we liberal and we allow the door to swing both ways?
Yes.
Or do we have a united front before anyone comes in.
Yeah.
In other words, are we together?
Oh, we are
Oh,
not.
we are not. Or is this like a is the culture in your family that the decision is made collectively by everyone else? Or do you come to me and we're like, you know what? And should anything come in, we know how to handle it. That is marriage. That is marriage.
Yeah, a journey to oneness.
Absolutely. Yeah. That is it. And if you are not a united fractures in the foundation.
Absolutely.
So some of those things were showing up, you know, and I also at the time, I think really was struggling with, pleasing everyone, pleasing everybody who I could
solver.
Yes. And so when I started to grow and started to see the world a little bit, and the feedback was always, you matter, you're enough, you don't have to do everything. And this is like aunties that you meet in church in other countries who are like, for us, we never. Hey. And you're like, you're towing the line in your home financially. How? Then you start saying, how am I towing the like you start having these conversations.
Debates, yes.
But without sugarcoating and being polished about this situation, Rachel, people must ask these questions of each other. Do not be shy.
Yeah.
And let me speak to the guys especially.
Tell them.
Men find a lot of women who are not sophisticated in these things of relationships.
Yeah.
Oftentimes they really, if they could have it their way, want to marry young girls in their 20s, maybe in their 30s. And many of us are not even really allowed to leave home.
Until we're getting married.
Yeah. We're with our parents. Our parents want the best for us, so they're giving us, circumstances differ. But you get me? And we find ourselves in the hands of sometimes men who don't realize that we don't know the world. And therefore have to help us along and help us understand maybe how the world operates and manage us delicately.
Yeah.
Because what is your role? Let's just be clear. Is it to just be there and just like I'm a helper? Or do you provide for me? Do you protect me? Do you present me in front of your in-laws as first priority? I'm even shouting. I'm shouting. I'm getting hot. I'm getting hot, Rachel. Because those are the questions. Yeah. Those are the questions that will set you up either for failure or for success. But here's the other thing that I want you to consider. It's not that easy. Marriage is not success or failure.
No.
It is just waking up every day and saying that I commit to the good of this person and taking them to their absolute highest self.
Yeah.
If you have not made that commitment,
anything goes.
No, and get out.
Yeah.
Because you're a force of destruction to the other person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. I get it. I think there are so many women who are thinking about marriage who watch this podcast.
Yes.
And yes, they know the other side of things because we talk about marriage a lot here and, what to expect and blah, blah, blah. But I think there's a lot to be said about the foundation. There's a lot to be said about when you're making the choice, when you're making the decision. Asking the right questions is important. And as you were talking about finances, I was thinking how so many women today just want to know that the man can provide. I don't think I've ever had anyone saying, how do you make your money? And yet it's a legitimate question.
Yeah. But in this economy, I've been witness to in the recent past, people losing their jobs and not being able to go home and tell their significant other. Yeah. And they will get dressed in the very same clothes and go and sit maybe in somebody else's office because they cannot face the shame. And I can really, I can sympathize with that because there is a standard that we hold towards men to be able to, but that means you're not vulnerable at home.
Yeah.
It means there's not a safety.
Something is wrong.
There's no safety.
Yeah.
For you to be actually come and fall apart and say
I've been let go.
Absolutely. So I don't know if that really answers your question. I think the thing is we just have to be real with each other. We have to be real. And in my case, to be really real, when I moved away, it turned out to be like a 6-year journey. And so we had 3 separate homes, in 3 different countries. And we just made those 3 homes work as much as possible.
Yeah.
I'll meet you here, and we can meet here.
Yeah.
We can do this. So I know that my journey is very specific to myself, and I will tell you where the breaking point for me came. I knew it wasn't working.
Okay.
But I was doing everything to make it work.
Yeah.
So what do? You throw money at it. You overcompensate. You hide from it. You throw these lavish parties to show that we're together. You show up at the events in matching bitenge.
Did you ever do matching bitenge?
I did. What did I do?
Oh my
so
God!
I mean, look, I want to win, right? I want to win. So,
wow.
What don't you do?
Yeah.
And then when you sit with yourself, I remember going into my prayer closet and crying and saying, it can't be me.
No.
I cannot be the trilogy of engagement, marriage, and divorce. I'm being funny about it, but at the time it was gut wrenching.
Yeah.
It was gut wrenching because here's what happens, Rachel. When you get married, what you are saying is, come into my body, come into my soul, live in my spirit, right? And walk this earthly life journey with me unconditionally. That's asking a lot for a human being.
Absolutely.
That's asking a lot from a human being.
Except for the grace of God.
And I need to also say here, that doesn't necessarily mean that you have a ring and you're getting married and no. But coming together with an individual that you decide is going to be your life partner, that is what you're asking. To undo that, to purge someone from your spirit, from your soul.
Yeah. That's hard.
And even your body, you know, you're used to having somebody in your bed, you're used to, and I'm not talking, it's not a sexual thing I'm talking about. I'm just talking about the intertwiningness,
the closeness,
the intimacy that you have with someone. And then for that, not to be there. Let me tell you, me, I could not tie my shoelaces without my husband. I'm like, not that he would literally do it. I'm just saying he was such a great management person that even before, you know, the tickets were already bought.
He anticipated
his strength and gifts lay in great management.
Wow.
And so I'm just like, so who's going to call the guy to cut the grass? So, who, you know, and then what time does the flight leave? I'm missing flights, you know, like, but then that's the superficial. You're purging someone out of your spirit. If that isn't gut wrenching, if you can survive divorce of someone that you love and you care about,
that's a lot.
It's something else.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Rachel, I remember there was a year, I don't think I combed my hair. You know, I wore those Erykah Badu turbans, and I made it work, right? But underneath, war. It was
your
Lutalo.
Hair was fighting.
Yes, and so the manifestation of what was going on inside of me was through my hair. And towards the end of the year, it knotted up so much that I cut it off.
You couldn't comb it.
I could not bring myself to lift my hands to comb my hair for a year.
Yeah.
And I couldn't explain it. I was like, what is it? I can do everything else. I can show up at work, but why is it that I cannot?
Yeah.
And so what helped me is I got into therapy. I had people support me. And here's the other thing that you didn't ask me.
Answer it anyway.
Rachel, you did not ask me this question, which I'm sure is in your notes somewhere. I am sure. When you get divorced, what you think is a good idea, and we're talking about purging your life partner out of yourself, what do you do with the onlookers and the witnesses you called to church?
Tell me.
And what are they doing to you? I lost friends. People chose sides.
Inevitably.
People are unfollowing you where you used to have, like, you know, they were your buddies.
Yeah.
People choose sides.
Yeah.
So the divorce doesn't impact the two of you. It is like a domino. It's almost like an earthquake has happened to both sides of the family. And what happens when there's an earthquake?
There's destruction.
Destruction.
Yeah. Devastation.
Devastation.
Yeah. Sophie, I don't think we have spoken about this at length. And I mean, I appreciate you being vulnerable and being open about your journey.
Yeah.
Did you find yourself mourning, the person, the partnership, the marriage, or what could have been?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Of this marriage, the kids you could have had?
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Earlier I was telling you I got married when I was older.
Yes.
So I was trying to have children later in life. And so what happens if you've married late, you divorce late, what does that do for you as a woman in society? And let me tell you, Ugandans are very unforgiving.
Tell me.
I mean, in general, Africa is very unforgiving for a divorced, single, childless woman.
Yeah.
And that's what makes people run to marriage. How will they see me? How will they see me?
Yeah.
And it's the how will they see me that will take you into the pit of hell.
Making the wrong decisions.
Making rash decisions.
Yeah.
The person remains nameless, but I recently went to a jazz festival and I saw my group, people that we went to high school with, and they were all congregated, and we sat there, and I just kind of did a mental check of everybody around, and nobody was married. No one had stayed married.
Oh, in the group.
In the 5 of the women that I was sat with, none of us had stayed married.
Oh, man.
And so it sent me on a journey. I was like, well, what are we confronting here? And I think we're confronting what we're talking about.
Yeah.
People at some point in their lives were like, how will they see me? So you go with the most willing member.
The most available.
You're like, anyway, if I polish him up enough, he's presentable just enough.
Yes.
And then I see the potential, the P word.
The P word.
I see the potential.
Yeah.
And guess what? God will make it happen.
God will make it happen. We'll make it work.
We sat on that table. I tell you, I walked away with so much information from how women really want to be treated older in life when they're older. But I also walked away with a question. What are we doing wrong? What aren't we getting right?
Right from the beginning.
Right from the beginning.
Yeah.
And one of them actually I said, oh, so you're still married? Because she still had her wedding ring on.
Band. Okay.
She's like, no, it's been like 5 years. We don't even live together. I was like, but you're still wearing your ring. Yeah. She's like, it has purpose in society, right?
Yeah.
Rachel, should I tell you about the wedding ring?
Tell me about the wedding ring.
Rings are deep. Rings are so deeply symbolic, right?
Yeah.
If you are in a corporate office, and all the young ones will tell you, if you're in a corporate office and you do not have a wedding ring, you're likely not going to be invited to some of the bigger events. People will not take you seriously if you don't have children or if you don't present as having a family at home.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Interesting.
So the day I had to give up my ring. So I was like her. I wore it.
You wore it for
I was like, yeah, you never know. God may have a plan. I wore that thing.
Yeah.
I wore that thing.
Yeah.
And the day that I had to take it off permanently was a day of mourning.
Oh,
I mean, Rachel, we say this now with a little bit of banter, but these are dark times.
I can imagine.
These are people's lives,
Yep.
And I remember taking that ring off, such a beautiful, beautiful ring, and there was so much meaning to that. Someone had made a commitment to you, and before God, and said, I will love you, I will nurture you, I will honor you. And it didn't turn out that way. Through whatever circumstances. I really want to give you like the deep.
The details.
But I know Ugandans, they're like, why didn't you?
I didn't.
So let me just, let me leave it there.
Here.
Okay, let's just, but let me give you one thing.
Please.
Okay. Rachel, if we have friends around us and they are engaged to be married, please do not be closed to the information that comes to you about your partner. Oh, they don't like me. They don't want the good for me. Have you checked?
That's common.
Have you checked?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if the information is coming to you, it's you should think about it.
Yeah. Like for me, what I concealed was that I was in a considerable amount of debt before I got married.
Okay.
I didn't say. Because they didn't ask also me, I didn't volunteer. I was like, am I going to say that I'm the broke chick? No.
There is no way.
What do you mean? Perfection is what you're taking
Plus
home.
now you're going to be the damsel in distress with a husband.
Yes, I was it was student loan debt.
Oh, okay.
You know, I'd gone to school and there was student loan debt, and I didn't know how to say. So we go on our honeymoon and the people are looking for their money, and he's like, who's calling you? I'm like, my mom. Because I didn't want to conceal, I didn't want to
reveal.
Thank goodness a job came where I was able to settle that student loan debt within 4 months. Paid it completely off. People conceal things in marriage.
Yeah. Because we want to present our best.
Here's another one. I've had a couple kids, not me, but people have had children. And they meet their life partner and they decide to edit their children out of their lives. So you have children in Masaka, in Karamoja, wherever, and no one is saying anything. So God forbid you should be in one of the supermarkets, Chinatown or wherever, and then people come and say to you, oh, by the way, how is your son? How old is he now?
Son, never been pregnant. What you talking about?
What you talking about? Then you as the wife are covered in absolute shame. Or you find out by text, or somebody calls you, or the baby mom shows up at your workplace. If you love somebody, why would you do that to someone?
Yeah.
Okay, I know I'm relatively altruist. People will be like, hey, we move on. You know, my sister told me a story of a thief con man who was conning women, but he was married. And at some point he got caught and his wife had to come to the jail and support him. And do you know what? When she picked him up, paid the bail, she said, get in the car, we go home.
Okay.
Get in the car, we go home. And it became a running joke between me and my family.
Okay.
Like, you know, acceptance. You just accept what you have.
Tell him, get in the car,
get in the car, we go home.
Yeah.
You know? So there's so many aspects that people edit out of their lives. And they have bound you in this relationship that you know that you cannot easily walk away from because you have committed to the God whom you serve.
Yeah.
And to your family that you're going to stick this thing out.
Till death do you part.
Till death do you part. Yeah. And then I am forced to accept
this thing.
Or things.
Things. Oh, yes.
That you did not mention before my commitment. Me, I call that a dupe.
It is a con.
It is a dupe.
Yeah.
It's a dupe.
Yeah. It absolutely
I mean,
is.
in degrees, for example, my debt issue does not mean that you leave me.
How about
I sorted it out. Yeah. You know, like at some point I definitely was going to say something. It was going to come up for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy the level of secrecy.
And let me tell you, technology has helped us these days. You can go to ChatGPT or you can just go to Google. And there are marriage registries. Questions that you should ask your partner before you get married. Print those things out. Buy the binder. And sit with your person over coffee.
And ask the questions.
Yeah. To be honest, the joy of coming together isn't just sexual.
Yeah, it isn't.
You know, because if you're, let's speak ideally, because we all know what really happens, but ideally what they tell us is like, you will come together, you can't wait to get married, because then you'll have this great physical attraction. But you cannot physically get together with someone if your soul is fragmented.
That's true.
If your spirit is fragmented. Yeah. I mean, I'm sounding very preachy, but it's because I also had to learn these things.
You did.
You know, day by day.
Yeah.
Day by day.
Yeah.
And
someone might be watching and they're saying, okay, Sophie, so we've asked the hard questions, but someone can choose to lie or omit information. And I think there are a couple of solutions that come to mind. One, you talked about people who come to you with information. It's not that they hate you. It's not that they don't want you to be happy. I think they want you to have all the information so that when you choose to go with this person, you know what you're getting into and you're not blindsided, you know. And so there's a tendency to ignore that information or dismiss it as I don't think these people want the best for me.
Mm.
The other thing is prayer. You know, I really do believe that God can reveal the heart of someone to you. And we're talking this to support the ladies and the gentlemen, because I mean, even women are duping men. Let's not be shy about that. It is possible for God to show you the heart of this person, or for him to somehow bring information that you need that could help you avoid making that decision. Or maybe he's saying, you have grace to keep going on, even knowing what you know. But I think that the important thing is information. I've asked myself the question and I have answered it. But yes, like, what happens if you ask someone a question and they lie or they omit? I mean, like you have said, it's a dupe.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I don't have all the answers. What I do have is experience, and experience can lend itself
absolutely
to what someone's going through.
Yeah.
Rachel, what I can say clearly, what I've learned is that if it feels good, it is good. The Bible says every good and perfect thing is from above. You know, God isn't just going to let you be out there without some help. It's friends, it's family, but it's also what we know to be the spirit that lives with you.
Yep.
A spirit of grace. And I always feel like the spirit of grace speaks to you through your intuition. Like, oh, this really does feel
off.
Yes, like this feels off or this feels great.
Yeah.
And so you also have to sort of sit still and be in your meditation, which is not easy for us to do, like, let me tell you, if I'm 25, 29, 28, and a very wealthy man who looks put together comes my way, do I want to ask questions? Do I want to sit down and do the intuition test? No, I want to live the great life. I want to be on Instagram and on TikTok talking about I'm in the Maldives. And,
Lord.
I've taken all the great photos and here we are.
Yeah.
But you must listen to your intuition. You have to have all antennas up. And the great thing about intuition, it is irrespective of your age. And you might feel like you know this person, but seek counsel. Sit with people. I tell you, I was so surprised, Rachel, during this time, because it took many years for me to make the decision to get divorced. It took many years. I was so surprised when I sat down in front of a reverend's wife, and as I was going through it, and she was like, "Me, if I was you, I'd go." I was shocked.
Man. Wait, had you made the decision at this point?
I was still in the decision-making process. It was early days.
Okay.
And she said, based on your circumstances,
I would
go.
definitely leave. Yeah.
I couldn't do that for myself, but she could because she's objective. Then from the reverend, I went to a healthcare professional, a mental healthcare professional. These are the circumstances. What do you think? The person says, in the grand scheme of things, you should go. Then you go to your elders in your home and you speak to your parents and your mothers because they've lived longer than you have. These are the circumstances. Yeah. Is this salvageable? Go. In your prayer, you sat there and God is like silent on the issue. But he has spoken to you through all these people. Yeah. But no.
You're like, nah.
Society.
Oh, yes.
I must be their wife.
Or misses someone. Yeah.
But the signs are all there. That you know what? This marriage didn't have longevity, but it had purpose. But now it has seasoned. And marriages don't season. From what we know as church, marriage does not end.
No, it doesn't.
But this relationship may not have been ordained by
God,
and therefore has to because if they went out from us, they were never for us. Because had they been for us, they would have remained with us. But because they have gone, it means they were never
for us. Wow, Sophie. So you go.
Did you see my preaching there?
I'm seeing you, girl.
I attended the church.
You
the church preaching.
I need a pulpit.
A pulpit.
You needed a pulpit.
Right.
And I know we're saying that we're laughing about it, but I know that you've been through quite something. And it's still a journey.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't think you're out of the
No,
pit.
I call it good grief.
Okay.
I call it good grief. You know, it's, by the way, it is the smallest things. It's the movie that you used to watch. It's a song that came on that we used to laugh about. It's the, you know, the small little jokes.
Thinking about coming to talk about this experience
for sure.
must have taken you back to some painful memories.
I mean, remember when we spoke and it took me a year to make the decision to come. It took me a year to come and talk about it because I just didn't want to face it.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be the girl who got divorced.
Yeah. Nobody does.
I did not want that to be yet another thing. I didn't want to fail before my parents. I didn't want to fail before my church. I didn't want to fail before my friends. And yet you find yourself here and you have to pick up the pieces and dust yourself off, even on your worst days.
Yeah.
You know, and I had to do it functioning through work, you know, functioning through life.
What was that like? You know, I mean, navigating your relationships, people asking about your husband and, you know, because you've come from this married life where there's the expectation that, you know, at events you show up with your husband. Maybe you're going to church together, you're showing up at dinners together, and now you kind of have to do some level of explaining.
No, in the beginning you lie. No, he's unavailable.
He's not.
Well, we shall see how to, you know, I'm representing this time. And then word starts to go around. And like I said, people embrace factions and they see what they want to see.
Oh, yeah.
And what is the thing, Rachel, most people see? It is the wife who failed. She couldn't manage. She is not wife material. And therefore, she's not a
good wife. And I think at this point, I want to say that the good wife is a wife on a journey. A good wife is not a perfect wife. I don't think there's a perfect wife anywhere. And that's why at the beginning of this conversation, Sophie, I said, you are a good wife, you know. And I think marriage is very complex in and of itself. There are very many layers to marriage. There's two individuals who are coming from two different backgrounds. There's faith, there's the idea of parenting, there's personalities, there's the Spirit of God who is with you. Like, there's so much to consider before I make a judgment and say, Sophie was a bad wife. And I think for me, the good wife represents the woman who is like, you know what? I don't know anything. I'm committed to learning. I'm committed to accepting my fault and taking responsibility. And I want to do better. Whether that sadly means I need to accept that this was not ordained of God. As hard as it is, I'm going to deal with, you know, the backlash that comes with it. And ask God for grace to move on to my next season.
I mean, there is what you're talking about is that self-introspection also brings self-doubt.
Absolutely.
You're like, what did
I do wrong? Yes.
What didn't I see? Yeah. I consider myself a relatively smart person. What didn't I? How did I end up here? I'm smarter than this. I'm better than this. What did I do? You know, and for we who come with that thing that our parents instill in us, like, you're a winner, you win at all costs. What do I do when I lose? Something that I cannot have any control over. Who am I then? I'm a loser.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I will say this, Sophie, to anyone who is watching that is going through this, or maybe you're just even going through like a rough patch in your marriage. I had a conversation with one of my guests and she was saying that sometimes when we are going through stuff like this, it's not to prove that you are a failure or that you're a loser. It's that maybe your soul needed to learn and grow. And the only way that you could learn and grow was through that experience. You didn't choose it. And I think if we could choose the way we learn, if we could tell God, I want to learn patience, this is you give me this test. I don't think would be very effective. He's the one who chooses how you're going to grow in patience or how you're going to grow in wisdom, in learning to make better decisions, in learning to be more discerning, you know. And I think that sometimes we go through valleys, we go through wilderness, or we go through traumatic experiences in life because there's a growth that needs to happen. There's an advancement that needs to happen. We don't pick and choose our tests and trials. Sometimes, yes, it's out of our own, we've not exercised wisdom, but God allows it to happen so that there can be a growth. There can be some sort of elevation, because after an experience like this, there's a lot of things that you have learned, Sophie. You're not the same person you were, 6-7 years ago.
I agree with you. And thank you so much for extending that grace, because a lot of people do not, even years into this fracture or this break or uncoupling that people talk about. I think before I got married and while I got married, I was a goodish wife.
Yes.
But we've never been married before, right? Especially, so we don't know what is the so-called threshold of a good wife. But I know for myself now what I know in hindsight and through therapy and consulting with other women, I was a good-ish wife. Now I'm a great wife.
Ooh.
Now I'm a great. The number is 07 now.
I shall put it in a caption.
Please no. But now I know I'm a great wife because I've done the excavation. And I also need to premise this by saying, your person doesn't need to be bad for you to leave.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Yes, there are certain things you can't live with. But sometimes maybe you are the problem. Maybe you are the problem in addressing certain things. Are you clean? Are you kind? Are you a person who just loves chaos and
drama?
Is a crazy maker?
Yeah.
Do you get along with your in-laws? Do you make an effort? Are your children nurtured? Are you faithful?
Are you faithful? Yeah.
The new thing right now is many women have side men.
I have heard.
Men have always had side women. But right now, the women are retaliating. They're like, oh, I also have a job like you. I also like certain ex-person in my office or wherever you meet them, at the gym or whatever. Why should the standard be different for you than it is for me?
Yeah.
So the pendulum swings both ways. You as the man, have you been cared and nurtured enough? Because many of us don't even have fathers who are present in a home. Have you got surrogate men around you who can show you how this thing is done? And it's okay to make mistakes. It really is. For you as a woman, maybe you didn't have great nurturing around you. What decisions have you made to learn and pick up some of these skills?
Yeah.
Some of us are bad wives.
This is true. This is very true.
Thank God I was not. But some people are bad wives.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take divorce for you to be able to course correct. But look inward.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Sophie, what does it mean to look inward? Really critically spend some time with yourself. Many of us don't know ourselves. We do not know ourselves. We don't know that we have an anger problem. We don't pay our bills on time. Look, we're allowed to have weaknesses. It's fine.
Absolutely. But we're not allowed to stay with them and make excuses.
But do you bark at your husband? Are you able to hold your tongue even when he makes a mistake? Or are you waiting for that one opportunity to see, now you see, you failed here. Also, here last Tuesday, even last year, total failure.
Oh, dear Lord.
Who needs to go to sleep with someone who is, your mind is already, why would you do that? So you have to check on yourself. But I will say this. Nothing about the divorce process or the healing process is ever going to be nice.
No.
It is going to be probably the closest you will come to death.
Can you imagine?
It is so gut-wrenching. If you do not have to divorce, do whatever you can to preserve your marriage. But should you find yourself on the side of divorce for whatever reason, you can pick up the pieces again. You can move forward. God can restore you.
Yes, He can.
But it's not going to be
easy. It's not.
Yeah.
And I mean, you mentioned that your divorce has been amicable in many ways.
Yes.
and yet there's but what did you use? The unpurging? Was it purging
Yes.
of yourself from this person?
Yes.
It's hard because there's been a meeting of souls, a meeting of
Oh, yeah.
bodies, a
Oh, yeah.
meeting of families,
Oh, yeah.
of minds, and now separating that,
Yeah.
you know, even if it's a year or 2 years of marriage, it's going to be hard. And I want you to talk about picking up the pieces when you realize, okay, this is the path that I am going to take, again, for whatever reason. What has that looked like in your case?
Okay, so the one thing I want a lot of people, a lot of women and men to help themselves do is that you're both of you are not running on the same rhythm. Where I've accepted you, you're still mad. Where I've come to a point where I am grieving, you could be at the acceptance phase because you're two separate individuals. So finding your rhythm after you've decided that you don't want to be together. I'll take the kids, you will not see the kids, you know, and then it becomes a battle between the two of you. You have to be able to understand where the person is at the time. Where I was at an acceptance stage, maybe the person I was with was still in denial.
Yeah.
We can, you
So
know,
good.
it just
this
needs
work.
this,
Yeah.
irrespective of what our differences are, you know, and we really tried hard. We really gave it like, because we loved God and we loved our family and we loved each other.
Yeah.
But some mountains are too hard to move. I can hear someone asking, but what are
what
the
are the
mountains?
We are not telling you.
Yeah, what are the mountains? But the point being, what does that look like afterwards? It means that you have to allow yourself to heal because your mind is bruised. Your heart is broken into all the pieces in the world. If you have children, their father is no longer present. Their mother may not be present. It depends on how it is. And let me tell you, some women and men out here, which is an aspect of this that we haven't really talked about, is the financial abuse that goes on. When you and I divorce, who gets what? Who brought what into the marriage? What did we build together? Or what am I willing to take from you,
as I
go?
stomp out of
what
this
do I feel
marriage?
I'm owed? So the rebuilding process takes time. It has very many different sort of like tentacles, different, you know, points of view. But the one thing you have to be committed to is moving on with your life. Do not stay bitter. Do not look behind and say, you know, because I believe, you know, we've always talked about this, Rachel, that all things work together for the good. That's a universal principle. We find it in the Bible, but it is a universal principle that everything around you is working towards your good, right? And so rebuild. I hope I'm not putting like a glossy finish on restoration, but you go back to your altar of prayer, to the God whom you serve, and you say, help me move forward. You get a community that supports you. I remember in my community and with my family, people didn't want to talk about it. For me, I'm an open book. I'd be like, you know, we're at this stage in the divorce. People would look up, they would look down. They're like, why have you brought difficult conversations?
Yes.
What does that do to your spirit? So what has happened to you is traumatic with a big T.
Very big.
And can take you out. Work on your restoration along with the God you serve and your community. And day by day, it takes better. Like as all things, if you get a cut, it takes time to heal. Your heart takes time to heal. Your mind takes time to heal. But also use it to your advantage. Let it teach you something. Don't also walk away then you get into another relationship with all the baggage that you've brought into this, having learned nothing about yourself, having learned nothing. If you're somebody like me and you feel like your life is still useful, use what you went through to take you to an elevated stage, to ask questions about yourself that maybe you didn't know about yourself. Like, you mean I have an anger problem? Did it take a divorce for you to learn that? And if it has, what are you doing about it? Am I a womanizer? And I self-medicate with women or men.
Yeah.
So now that this marriage has broken, am I taking my self-womanizing,
Individual to
as myself
the next
to also break someone else's spirit
Yeah.
and say, abakazi, omanyi abakazi, but you're not doing
the self introspection.
Yeah. That was the male bash I threw in there. They also have things about us that they
I feel
also
like
come for us, but
in this
I'm trying very much to be.
Yeah,
I'm
you
trying very
really
much
have
to
been.
be.
No,
Yeah.
I think that's wise. It's mature if something as traumatic as divorce happens for you to stop and think and not be on the next bandwagon of, okay, I'm now in the dating pool again. Where are the men at? What's the dating scene like? Like, those are not the kind of questions you should be asking. At some point, yes, if you feel like marriage is still on the cards for you, and that's my next question to you, the time you need to take for healing is very paramount. Take time to heal. Take time to understand, what was my contribution here.
Yeah.
Where did I fail? Where were the weaknesses? Where were the cracks? In the overall picture of this marriage. We talked about foundation, identity, because a lot of people, their self-worth takes a hit.
Sure.
I don't know if that was the case for you.
Sure.
Did you feel? I mean, you talked about feeling like a failure, like a loser. You failed,
Yes,
at this
absolutely.
thing that society holds,
Yeah.
with such high regard. And of course, I want to hear from you on what your thoughts are on love, because that's something, again, that takes a hit. People are like, oh, men are terrible. Real love does not exist. Marriage is overrated, and all the buzzwords.
I'm learning more about myself at the moment. Because I was so outward driven in terms of making sure that everybody was great. And there was nothing in my life that was off limits.
Okay.
You could have my money. You could have my mind. You could have my time. You could have my friends. Oh, that is giving someone sacred territory.
Yeah.
Now, I need to vet you. There is a vetting process.
There's a vet and a committee.
There is a committee.
There's a vetting
There is a vetting committee. They are friends, such as yourself.
Yeah.
And I listen. If I have trusted you enough in all this, I will listen to what you have to say. Rachel, we need to talk about this element in life. What is it about these young men loving us divorcees?
Talk about it.
Let me tell you.
Tell me.
The amount of pressure that I get from young men who do not consider your past as a deterrent
to
getting
future.
To know you. Because now what are we supposed to do? The men who are our age are either married or they themselves are divorced, and they're like, those grown ones. Those grown ones.
I want the young ones.
Those grown ones. They'll ask me for, accountability. What? So we're ready to date. We're not that ready to date. Of course, we're, if you're a thinking person, you have your boundaries, right? We're ready to date, but somehow I find the only grouping that is like, that's not a problem.
Okay.
Are the younger ones.
Yeah.
Me, I'm here to say the older ones can also
apply.
They can also apply.
Shoot your shot.
Went from goodish to great. Great.
Yeah. I mean, from everything that you have learned, what would you say? Can you? And I feel like you've kind of talked about it. Like,
yes.
Highlight something you have learned about yourself throughout this process.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Rachel, when I tell you, I am so in love with myself right now.
Really?
I cannot believe how loyal I am, because at some point, even after I divorced my husband, this is going to be a bit controversial, I supported him.
Okay.
I supported his dreams, because that was someone that I knew in a specific kind of way. I supported him. I can't go into how, but I did. I love myself because I didn't give up on myself. I still felt that I could get to worthy, even if I didn't know how to get there, but that I was worth fighting for.
Yeah.
The third thing that I really love is that I was accountable to myself. There's certain things about my life I didn't want to address. That's not me. Come on, please.
There's no way.
Tondaba. I had to be accountable to myself.
Yeah.
But all that comes sometimes with age. But I think the last thing that I love about myself is I didn't quit on myself.
On yourself. Yeah.
I didn't quit. I didn't say, well, this is life. This is what everyone wants from me. I held myself to a higher standard and I said, you know what, Soph? You're better than this. You can do better than this.
Yeah.
There is a strength inside of you that is untapped that can take you to a higher plane. Right now, you're playing small. And oh, do I love myself for that?
That's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
That's amazing. And I think the way I would describe it is you talked yourself off the ledge because
with God's help,
with God's help, for sure, with God's grace, I think divorce, like you've said, is the closest you'll come to death, among many other things. And for many people, they don't come back. They come close and they kind of stay there, and it's bitterness and it's, now you're judging all the people that he's with, and he's a terrible human being, and there's no forgiveness that's happening. Forgiveness for yourself, forgiveness for your partner. And so they stay at death, they stay at bitterness, they stay at resentment, and they don't come back to life, and I think there's a death that happens with divorce. And I mean, it's commendable that you were able to rise above it and say, no, yes, this is hard, and I'm holding myself accountable. I'm not going to quit on myself. I'm going to come back and do better, basically.
And look, if you don't have a shower for 2 days, don't kill yourself.
It's okay.
If your dishes stay in the whatever,
sink, yeah.
Rachel, you came to my
house. I came to your house.
Did I tell you the story of how Rachel came to my house? You need to know this story.
The kitchen.
Rachel came to my house. We are on a podcast.
I love you.
We're on a podcast.
We are telling the story.
You came to my kitchen and I could not move from my sitting room to my kitchen to make lunch.
But we
Please,
helped.
do not let the waterworks begin.
Girl, I remember thinking,
oh, you guys, get you some friends like Rachel. Get you some friends like Rachel.
Just normal.
Do you know, I sat on that couch and my body said, not today.
Not today. It's not happening.
And I had visitors coming. I think I marinated some chicken. It's vague. I don't remember.
What did we have? It was chicken and what?
And my kitchen
it was
required attention.
It did.
And let me tell you what Rachel did. Do you know what Rachel did? Rachel did the dishes and cleaned my kitchen.
I did. Because that's what friends do, right?
Don't make me start crying on the podcast. But I need to tell you something, Rachel.
Tell me.
Out of everybody who I was happy to have at my wedding, you were the person I really wanted to have at my wedding.
Is that so?
Yes, because authentic people are extremely difficult to find.
Oh, Sophie.
And authentic people and good friends will take you through the most difficult times. They will not judge you openly.
No.
And they will see you through each season of your life. And I would have never, in a million years, sat down on a podcast to talk about
this experience. Yeah.
Only with you.
Oh.
Only with you.
I'm so happy to see where you are now, Sophie. Yeah. I thank God that.
But that kitchen story never happened.
Guys,
it didn't happen.
That kitchen
was a movie.
A mess. It was a mess. But I was like, this is my girl. This is my girl.
People only want the pretty stories.
No.
You know?
No.
They only want the pretty
stories. Even the messy ones exist. The messy ones. I mean, I look at you now. You look like a million bucks.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Like a million bucks.
Thank you.
I want you to say something to the woman who has found herself on the other side of divorce as we close and they're in pieces. What would you say to them?
Your mistakes do not define you.
Yeah.
We hear that all the time. All the time. You are not defined by an event that did not have the outcome that you expected. But it is also your job to find out why.
Yeah.
and no one is coming.
To help you with that process. Yeah.
In that 2 a.m. hour, when you are at home with your spouse, the decision to be there is entirely yours. So if you have been in a situation where you've been abused, mentally, psychologically damaged, get help. Yeah. It is not a bad thing to ask for help. Please get some help. Ask the mental professionals. Many times I tell people, don't go to your in-laws, don't go to your brothers and sisters, don't go to your family. That sounds really odd, right? Unless you have a special kind of relationship, just don't do it. Find a professional where you can really have a safe space. In my case, I paid for it. I was like, well, I really don't understand this. It's until I got professional help from a mental health professional that put labels on what things were. So I'm like, oh, so I'm not going crazy. No. Also, is that what that means? Oh, that's not a good thing. This is a great thing. Oh, but in Africa, we must endure all things. We are the wife. No. Yeah. If something is a danger to yourself, a danger to your children, man or woman, you have a decision to make.
You do.
You do. And it's not going to be easy. But let me tell you, as a fractured person, oh, you're God's favorite.
You are.
You're God's favorite.
Material.
And with that breaking, there's light in between the cracks. Just open yourself to what that light is. And let me tell you, that new chapter that is coming, you are a fortified child of God. And also us, don't play with divorced people. We can see your BS from a mile. We're
You're
like,
wiser. You're wiser.
I know that one.
Yeah, that's that one I have seen.
I've seen it. And so now I can navigate better. Start again. Get into relationships. Date. Don't be afraid to be out there. You are not damaged goods.
Yeah.
I don't care how many kids you've had. I don't care what you look like. You're not damaged goods. You're a human being having a human experience that just turned out the way that it did. But you're still very much a child of the highest creator.
Yeah.
And you're purposeful.
Yes, you are.
You know?
Yeah.
And to the men,
be nice.
Let me be nice.
Be nice.
Men, our precious men, be gentle with us.
Yeah.
Be gentle with us. And for the women who are abusing their husbands,
bombastic side eye.
If he gets up to leave, don't be shocked. Also show up and do better. If you find yourself in a place of divorce where you're a man, don't feel rejected by a woman. Maybe the choice that you made was not the best choice for you. Start again. Life is really about second chapters. It's the self-discovery, but then it's also the communal discovery. There is something going on constantly, but don't be in a state of, it has ended. We are just existing. Tuliwano.
We're just here.
What is the Luganda term of like just in a state of no growth? Tuliao. Tuliao. Oh, that is a life from the pit of hell. Your life is so purposeful.
It is.
Post-divorce. And learn more about yourself. If you have the means to travel. You can even do vacations. No one is going to find you in your home.
Nobody. That's so funny.
Nobody.
There's a video I've seen on TikTok where introverts are telling God, okay, God, like now I'm ready to date. And then God is like, okay, so first thing you need to do is step out. An introvert is like, what? Like leave my home?
Yeah, but there are introvertish things that people can do. You know, like they have their small little
things.
You know, their things. Yeah. Join a club.
Yeah.
You know, be out there. Meanwhile, I am the number one hermit. You know this. I have like I said, you know, loud presenting, but generally a bit conservative.
Yes.
But don't cut yourself from humanity.
Yeah.
There is still an unwritten chapter. Co-create with Christ. Co-create with God to make your new chapter so much better than before. So that when you look back, you're like, God, you were right when you said leave that situation. It's not over.
It's not.
Until God says it's over.
It is. Wow. I will not add to that. Thank you so much for sharing this with us.
So much,
I really pray that someone has been ministered to, especially if they are on this side of things. I know that, for the most part on this show, I am encouraging like marriage, work, marriage, this, but I'm also cognizant because I interact with a lot of women, and there's some really hard situations out there. I'm not going to lie. Very difficult to the point where sometimes I hear stories and I'm like, hey, Lord, wouldn't the best possible option be for this person to leave? But that's between them and God and their person. So I appreciate you being open and honoring me with your story, honoring this podcast with your story.
Thank you.
And I know that your heart was to help someone.
Yes.
That's it.
That is the intention.
That is the intention.
As much as I'm very tempted to male bash,
I know.
Rachel, I do want to say something that I saw even in my own family, widely from different perspectives. People always say, but the children. But the children. You can be a person who passes on generational trauma to your next generation. I guess that's what generational trauma means.
Yes.
Or you can be the person who stops it.
Yeah.
I'm not somebody who really advocates for divorce. Like I said, we are people of faith. You stick it out as much as possible. As long as you're not harmed and the people around you are not harmed. But if you are trying to stay because of children, you might not be doing the good that you think that you are
doing.
There is a way. There is always a way for both of you to be part of the equation, because you're worthy of living a good life. You're worthy of not being abused and tasked to the point of abuse. If I can be very frank, don't stay because of kids. There will always be a way.
Yeah.
Man or woman?
Man or woman. Oh, wow.
Man or woman, yeah.
Thank you.
We have been judge, we have been jury, we have been
executioner as well. Yes, yes. I want you to say a prayer for my audience.
Okay.
People come here for different reasons. They come here because, they've seen the title and it's like, oh, I'm going through that. Let me watch and see what they're saying. Or they have friends and family that are going through the different situations. And when we finish talking, I think it's always nice to commit this journey because we've done our part. Now it's the information that we've shared will go a long way in supporting them, but more importantly, praying with them, I think is another wonderful gift that we can give them. So would you say a prayer for the men and women that are watching?
All right. Dear Lord, we thank you so much for this day, because this is the day that the Lord has made. And in so doing, we lift up relationships, marriages that are struggling, and we ask that your Holy Spirit will come and cover them and show them the way that they should go. And Lord, we know that there are times where, for whatever reason, couples cannot stay together. And so we pray for each one of those couples who are struggling. Most importantly, we pray for the preservation of family. But also, Lord, heal those who have wounds. And Lord, for those of us who have gone through the traumatic experience, which is divorce, I ask, Lord, that you just lift up our heads, that you will show us the way, and that you will make our crooked paths straight. We open ourselves to your will, and with thanksgiving, we ask that you show us the way. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen. Amen.
Thank you, girl.
Thank you, girl. Thank you, girl.
I have a little something for you.
Oh, you do?
Yes, I
Okay.
So I did say
Did
that
you get me a gift? Oh, thank you so much.
because you were beautiful and you are on a
Oh.
journey of healing.
Thank you
Risa
so
Naturals
much.
is sharing it's
Oh, that's so
a soft
nice.
bar.
Hmm.
I hope you love it.
Thank you so
And,
much. It's so
sometimes
nice.
when you're going through the
Hey.
trenches, it's nice to eat food.
Did you get me more than one gift?
I did.
This
I
is what they
did.
call double for your trouble. Oh, thank
I
you
did.
so much.
Welcome.
Yay,
Being
gifts.
here. Don't you love gifts?
Oh, of course,
Yeah.
of course. Thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you for sharing your audience and your platform with me. I really appreciate that. I think that's wonderful.
Yeah, you're
Thank
worth
you.
it.
Thank you.
So next time I come to your house, the kitchen will be
No,
in
but that
order.
never happened. Friend, that never happened. Didn't happen.
The kitchen will be in order.
It never happened.
It never.
I mean, did not.
Okay. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. I'll give you that.
Okay.
I'll give you that.
All right.
Thank you guys for
Thanks.
watching. We'll see you back again next week. Bye bye.
Yay!
You started rolling, huh?
Well, wait with the heels. We just pretend. We are extra presenting, but we are really humble.
We really are. All right.